Thanks again for joining us on a Tuesday. I hope you're having a fine one out there. I'm Marlin Bohling with you, and we're watching your ag commodity trade. Let's go ahead and take a look at this corn market here to see if anything has changed from the last time we took a peek at it. We'll go to the big board here. Our quotes are from Bar Chart, and on the March corn, let's take a look at what it's doing. It's still 3 1/4 higher, hanging right in there at 484 3/4, just a penny from our high of the day. The December contract, and again, I'll remind you, that one goes off the board on Thursday already. Only 2 days left on that one. And the March will be on the top line after that. Now, in soybeans, we had a sale of 198,000 tons of soybeans to unknown destinations, and wouldn't you know it, it goes lower. January beans down 6.5 this morning. March is down 8, and now 7 3/4 lower at 1345.5 after a high last night of 1360. Goodness, they trimmed off 15 cents off of that already. Well, on the wheat in Chicago, we have the March contract currently 11 3/4 higher at 621 1/4. So a nice rebound after a big sell-off yesterday. Kansas City wheat, March up 18 3/4. How about that? At 651, a couple of pennies from its top of the day. In Minneapolis wheat, the March contract is up 16 cents. We're at 727 3/4, just 1 penny from its high. And let's look at Minneapolis. Cotton. Let's go to the cotton market right now. March is down 83 points. We're at 81.17 per pound, and we had a high of 82.36 in the overnight trade. Oh, it's that time of the week where we venture over to the mid-Atlantic states. We have Ben Hushon on the line. He's with the mill in Whitehall, Maryland. And it sounds like it might be appropriately named. It sounds like Whitehall, Maryland may have been a little bit white here over the past few days there, Ben. What's the story?
Good morning, Marlin. Very good catch. Sunday morning, we woke up, shortly after we woke up, rain, the front that Tim Ross said was headed our way, came through, pretty much rained off and on, more on than off, all day into the wee hours of Monday morning, and woke up, had about 2 inches of rain in the gauge, and then there were those areas, Baltimore County, Carroll for sure, Frederick County, right along the Maryland-Pennsylvania line, and on up into Pennsylvania where we had a surprise 2 to 3 inches of snow. We're running about 14 inches of rain behind for the year, so I'll be honest, the fact that it came slow and easy and finished with a little bit of snow was not really a downfall or anything that we were disappointed in.
So Ben, I'm curious, typically, and I know you're right on the Atlantic coast there, but typically, what do you end up with for snowfall in a given year? Do you know?
So in our community, the last 10 years, I would say, we'll get 2, maybe 3 of those 6-inch snowfalls, 2 to 6. What we end up with more than anything anymore is that sleet, freezing rain. So the challenge to the farm community is it just seems like we struggle to get frozen ground. You know, all October, November, folks have been pulling soil samples, and now they know where they need lime and how much lime they need, and in some cases potash too. And it's hard to get that done because again, that 2 inches of rain, and we're having some 25-degree mornings, 28 degrees, maybe up to 45 during the day, but we just struggled the last couple of years, seems like, to get frozen ground that comes here and stays with us for a month so we can get a lot of field work done.
Yeah, and some folks may be saying, why the heck would you want that? And you kind of alluded to that a little bit. You have to be able to travel over that wet ground to apply all that stuff, right?
Absolutely. You know, right now you walk across it and you're almost making a track, and to carry a load of lime. Best time of year typically to put lime on fields is the fall, winter. There's not a lot else to do in the field other than trim back trees and fix up maybe some waterways that might have gotten washed out that you found during harvest. But it's just a great time to get that lime on and let Mother Nature start to break it down and get it into the soil where it needs to be.
You know, I had some friends of mine expressing to me yesterday that, boy, the seed sales right now are really active. Is that true where you are too?
They are. They are. And it's interesting in this area. I was out in Frederick County yesterday morning, so about an hour and a half west of where I'm standing today, and they were down 100 bushel of corn below normal, and that consistently was dry weather from there right on into parts of Carroll County, Maryland, again, just north and west of Baltimore. And that was a pretty dry area. Folks were off 40 to 100 bushel acre corn. Outside, now that group of people, they're a little more reluctant right now, trying to figure their cash flow out. Outside of that really dry area, folks have cash because they've had a really good yield. Price isn't where we want it to be for sure, but the good Lord blessed us with an abundant crop this year, other than that circle I just described.
Well put. Well, thanks for explaining that. I was real curious about that. Ben, we'll check in with you next week at the same time. Ben Hushon is with the mill in Whitehall, Maryland. We'll pause here. We'll be back to take a look at livestock trade next.